Mr. Chairman, how the Labour Party hates all this success. As the economic news gets better and better, so Mr. Hattersley's face gets longer and longer and longer. I come to the conclusion many times, they do not want to get rid of unemployment, they wallow in it. Yeah. The old Britain of the 1970s, with its strikes, poor productivity, low investment, winters of discontent, above all its gloom, its pessimism, its sheer defeatism, that Britain is gone. May I remind him, had the rates of the last government stayed in force, we should now be paying £3.5 billion more in income tax than we are. May I also remind him that had we chosen to keep the national insurance surcharge where he left it and applied that money to cut in income tax, the personal rates would be even much below where they are now. But of course he left us with this terrible tax on jobs of national insurance surcharge, and it was we who took off that tax. Now, he made some comments about Keynes, and as far as I can make out, what he was saying was, if we all spend more than we've got, we shall get very rich. It always was a very stupid sentiment, and may I remind him. Last week at Blackpool, the Labour Party made the bogus claim that it was putting people first. Putting people first? Last week, Labour voted to remove the right to a secret ballot before a strike, voted to remove the precious right we gave to trade union members to take their union to a court of law. Putting people first. Last week, Labour voted for the state to renationalise British Telecom and British Gas, regardless of the millions of people who've been able to own shares for the first time in their lives. Putting people first, they voted to stop the existing right to buy council houses, a policy which would kill the hopes and dreams of so many families. Labour may say they put people first, but their conference voted to put government first, and that means putting people last. What the Labour Party of today wants is housing municipalised, industry nationalised, the police service politicised, the judiciary radicalised, union membership tyrannised, and above all and most serious of all, our defences neutralised. Never! He tackled me also and asked me about Mr. McGregor. May I make it perfectly clear? I have every confidence in Mr. McGregor. And if some of the coal miners in the northeast had taken up the contracts which Mr. McGregor won, in other words, if they'd chosen to take the jobs, $1,000 miners would have jobs which they would not have had without Mr. McGregor. I wonder if the right honourable gentleman has the same confidence in Mr. Scargill. Mr. Kinnock told Mr. Scargill publicly that there was no, and I quote, no alternative but to fight. All other roads are shut off. What do you think would have happened if Mr. Scargill had won? I think the whole country knows the answer. Neil would have knelt. Obviously, I disagree with the right honourable gentleman. I must remind the right honourable gentleman that it was my arguments and my policies to which President Mitterrand turned to when his own socialist ones didn't work.